So what happened is last month I found a community there of people that just join together and group together, and then they do historical reconstruction around the medieval period, so from the 12th century I think, or maybe a little bit earlier, to the 17th century, and they recreate all the dresses, and they do the fighting and the cooking, the art and craft, and they try to recreate as much as possible about that era. So I was into this kind of stuff since I was a teen, since I was like 13, I think, 12 or 13 or something like that, when I actually started with LARP games. And I always loved those LARP games that were historically based around the same period of time. So after years that I'm living here in Australia, and I have to readapt myself and to reinvent and to navigate again life and recreate myself, I found actually those guys in a what was it? Was it like, it was like a festival or something, and they just like popped in the corner, and started to chat with them, and all my love for the historical reconstruction just flourished once again. So then I started joining with them, and the madness of sewing just began. After looking for historical datas like referments from illustration, listening to historian, people there are actually studying, professors university there, sometimes they post some materials for people to access to, looking at all the art I know, which was actually the biggest part probably, because at least my knowledge in art in this case have helped a lot. And I've done lots of researches and observed better, and to try to understand the patterns, how to cut the fabrics, how to sew it together, and how to give a certain kind of styles and drop off of the fabric. So it's all like lots of work behind. And as I said, I think earlier, when I've done the what's the next month's vibe, it just was like 2 dots, and it didn't look like much was going on, but I just couldn't put every single things is in it, otherwise that's not gonna be like a dot kind of short list anymore. So yeah, then I started documenting myself. I look for different images, I look for different artists I loved, and period of time, and each period of time and each location, geographical locations, the costume sometimes changes, or the fabrics or the styles, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it's pretty similar. So just like a huge historical research behind it. I really went myself completely, I just dived in completely. So then I wanted to show it to you there. So having a look at my sketchbook here, I started with trying to make more or less, first of all, trying to understand all those words that I actually knew in Italian, because as I said, I've done some LARP gaming, but of course that was more flexible because it was kind of historically based on medieval time, but still fantasy kind of based. So it was like kind of historical, kind of not, but few things that I knew, I have to understand them again in English. So there was like a huge like kind of translation stuff, lots of stuff maybe I've read even in Italian, the research of the name, which is always drives me insane. I don't know what about you, all the layers and stuff, and trying to actually decide what kind of period, what location and what dress start with. It was absolutely driving me bunker, because in Italy I have so many different things that accumulate along the years, because as I say, I was doing that since I was around 13 or 12. So now having nothing, it's so weird, and I couldn't make up my mind. But anyway, at the end I actually managed it, but let's go step by step. So found out how to cut the fabrics, the wastage, few little drawing that I've done from different painting and things that I know. Then I went a little bit more specific into something kind of well-known actually paintings, some maybe might be less known. Trying to understand how this leaves that drives me insane too. I had to work it out. Once I went to the 1600 and 1700 with the corset, I just realized that maybe it would be a project that I would take later on, because I mean the corset, it's quite of a job itself. And so yes, it started to actually take form, or what I wanted to do and to be. And as this all this drawing, actually, it was for me actually to decide what to really do. And then I finally actually got to decide for a certain model I'm going to show you later and more in the detail. So I decided to do a 12th centuries Norman dress. I am not sure if I'm going to do a Sicilian or northern territory ones, so more like so Norman influences, South Italian Norman influences, or fully Norman. I will see. I will definitely do a middle 1400 Italian style, or the middle of Italy, like around not Firenze, but yeah, Firenze, Ferrara, Mantova, those that area over there, Lucca. And I will definitely realize something like this from artists that I really like, and few art from painting and a fresco from the 1470. And then I will definitely do myself a Viking dress. It's kind of a must. And I guess we will see from there. I'm also going to do a male one. So I want to do females, 1470 Italians, a male, still same times, same place. So I found this fabric in my studio, and soon I will update you with more.